Prepare yourself for invasion. This is Indie Invasion.
Yes, it worked good, man.
So I just looked at my phone and we're kind of teasing somebody for being the early bird here and catching the worm. I just saw my message. He's like, I'm ready.
Awesome. What's happening, Tim? Matt's here already. Awesome. So we, in case you joined us right as we were acting super excited, it was because we figured out something technological in the green room, right? For the green room. Hey, there's Tonio, Mike. What's happening? What's happening, guys? So, as you guys can see today, oh, look, man, Ron's here. James, first time joining live. Awesome, man. It's good to have you. So, obviously, you guys read the topic to see what we're going to be talking about tonight, 2-player starter sets. But before we go there, Eric, what you been working on? What's going on?
Well, I had a rough week because I'm doing side projects for some friends, doing some artwork for them for Blood Bowl tournament he's got coming up. You want to see it?
Yeah, come on. Eric's going to show his chops, his art chops here. Look, Mini Warmut, Alder, what's happening?
Bam.
Yeah. That's cool.
So, yeah, I think he's going to use this for, I don't know, different stuff, t-shirt and flyers and whatnot. But exciting. I got my curse crate Wednesday. It's not open yet because I'm an oak.
You are, dude. I don't know how you do it. I can't make it from the door to my desk before I'm peeling tape off the box.
Well, I plan on doing an unboxing of this for everybody this weekend, so you guys can experience it with me when I open it. So
that's exciting. Yes. Well, what else have you been working on besides that picture?
It's a picture. A little bit of my Don't Look Back. I finished Mama Luna's, if you can see it in the background.
Oh yeah, I can. Yep, I see that you painted the canopies.
My canopies, my paper towel and glue canopies that I made, and a little bit of work on the miniatures. I'm still base coating them, so I didn't get a whole lot done. I got to dig out my Letterman coat so I can see exactly what the back of it looked like.
So Matt's already hitting you up.
Yeah, look at him.
That's right. So, I've been working on a bunch of stuff. I've been working on tables. I got it's Max. I've been working on table, my Asian themed table. I have my actual little Zen garden. I got to make a little rake for it so I can rake my little sand and relax and calm down. I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I'm working on that, and I got another table I'm working on. But this was really cool is Eric and I got an email the other day for a game, a copy of a PDF of a game called Country Road Z. And of course, Eric jumped right on because it's a zombie game.
And this is from a listener.
Yeah, that's what was so cool. So I started reading it last night. And I lasted 10 pages. And I was like, I can't have this in PDF. I cannot have this in PDF. So I ordered the book because for those of you guys, I know we have some listeners that play 5 Parsecs or 5 Leagues from the Borderlands. Well, it's zombies 5 Parsec style. So it's this big giant campaign thing. And it is so cool. I'm super excited about it.
Was that on? That was RPG War Game Vault.
I got it on Drive-Thru RPG. It was $15 for the PDF and softcover book. Not that I needed the PDF, obviously, because we already had it. And they have a Facebook group, so go check that out too. And I'm drawing a blank. I can't remember what the name of the game company is. Earthbound, maybe. I'll look it up. I think it was Earthbound.
But I think it's exciting. It's we love to support somebody that is a listener and supports us. So
and I loved the 5 Parsecs concept of the game, but I'm not like over the tops for sci-fi. I like it. and I love watching sci-fi, but when I play, I don't know. I just like something a little bit different. But let's see. What do we have? Some comments. That Zen garden is amazing. Looks so good. Oh man, thanks guys. I was going to 3D print a little rake, but then I was like, wait a minute. I just get a little, because I've got all my Proxxon tools. I'm just going to make my little tiny wooden rake. And then I'm going to have my wife shoot a video of me raking my little Zen garden while I play a game. Name of the game is Country Road Z. So the twist that's a little bit different is that it's not like in the city. It's rural. The whole concept is that you're in rural areas. So just a little bit of a different spin. And Tim, Tim said zombies really are the ideal setting for a solo game. They are, and it plays solo, which is of course great. And just like with 5 parsecs, though, I mean, anybody could join you just by playing one of your other survivors or crew or whatever it is. So building windmills, as Mini Warmut is building windmills as we mentioned this. Well, I don't know. So that sounds an awful lot to me like those windmills would work really well for that game. You should go join that Facebook group and then play a game, post pictures of that. Mike says, how do you get a copy of 5 Leagues? I have the old the old edition of 5 Leagues from the Borderlands, Mike. I'm pretty sure it is. Well, obviously, if you're on the Modifius site, it is still pre-order. But I have the old one of it. So, and I don't know what all is different, but that's what I have. Got the new. I've got 5 parsecs too, but who knows? Velcro wallet shut. Nope, not happening. All right. So, Eric, you look like you're looking intently at your computer.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for it right now to see if I can find it. I want to make sure I can find it.
Ron threw a link up.
Did he? Okay. And you know what? I just found it.
He threw a link up in Facebook for Drive Through RPG.
Cool.
So you guys
Thanks,
can,
man. Yeah, for that price too, you can't beat it. Hardcover is $25.
Look at there. Tim said he heard an interview with the creator on another podcast. He's ordering his copy now.
Well, here
he said that we didn't know there was an indie invasion connection. Neither did we. We didn't know until when did you get it? Like last night? Was it last night or night before?
I think it was the night before.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Oh yeah, there it is. There
Bam.
it is. It's Earthbound Games, right? Isn't that is it Earthbound Games?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. All right. So anyway, there's that. It's really cool. You can print the cards too. I got the print copy of the cards as well. And you build your base up and Go check it out. Go order yourself a copy.
Oh, I gotta say thank you, Alder, for the shout out on the drawing. I saw that scroll.
Oh by.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, Mini Warmut says he's gonna check it out. Yes, go check it out. It's cool. It's cool. If nothing else, it's nice collector book.
It's zombies.
Good way to support. Yeah, but good way to support indie games developers too, because the prices on that stuff is usually lower. And always a good read when you're just sitting around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk.
We got to get into it. So, recently I did do an unboxing, and this is actually a suggestion from listener Alder. I did our little unboxing of Black Sun Starter Set by Crucible Crush, and it got him thinking, what else is out there? And it's something we think about sometimes too. What else is out there? So we're going to look at starter sets, the best starter sets for indie games. Now, are we going to look at everything, like a starter set that comes with everything you need to put on the table and play? Your minis, your cards, your dice, rule books, widgets, whatever else they can cram in that box? Or are we going to kind of creep towards more of the board game side? That's something I kind of want to be careful about, because those seem to be a little bit limiting. They give you some scenarios, and then there's not a whole lot of free play, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
In there.
Well, and I'd be interested too, for everybody that's listening, is what is your take on what makes a good 2-player starter?
Yeah.
Because I think the thing that we've noticed is that with the independent game developers that have a line of miniatures, it can be tough to put together a 2-player starter. And the reason I know that is because I'm actually helping do that right now. And it can get very cost prohibitive as you're starting to put it together, because you want it to be a good value, but at the same time,
don't want to overprice it, right?
Right. It has to
and
be.
I have an example for that.
Right. It has to be cost effective for you.
Yeah.
And Ron makes a good point where he says, and you don't have to hate to say it, it's okay. GW does do some good stuff, but they do have pretty good 2-player starters. But the thing about it is what makes a good 2-player starter to you? And and I'm just going to give an example of something that's not actually on our list. Is, for instance, like Matt just said, Christmas morning test. Can you open it and get started? How easy is it to do that?
Yeah.
I think of DGS games and Free Blades. So they don't actually have a 2-player starter, but you can get your 2 boxes and the rule book's online. Boom. That's
standard dice. So
no, it's not. No, it's not. You got to have the dice.
Not.
So yeah, that's the thing. You got to have the dice. But that's very effective because they have the rule book online. So you minimize what you need. And then we kind of chuckled before we started. Is the ideal 2-player starter box, shouldn't it have 2 rule books in it? I mean, somebody's getting hosed.
I can't think of one that has 2 rule books.
So Tonio says faction choice is rough with 2-player starters. Prefer 2-player deals because of that. That's a really good point. Good point. But we are going to talk about some 2-player starters that we're aware of that we like, that we think are good. And another one that's not on our list, I'm going to throw out there real quick because it's not really a 2-player starter. But if you want to get a whole bunch of stuff that you can play with more than 2 people, the Core Space box is pretty good, man. Yeah. All the terrain, all the models you get and everything. So, all right, I'm done. Start your list, my friend. I think I'm done. I'm eyeballing over here on my shelf of games. I'm like, am I done? I'm not sure.
Well, I'm going to start with one that I see one in the comment section. It's Ron that put it up. And I had to double check this was on the store and not a Kickstarter thing because it came out of their last Kickstarter. But the Pulp Alley starter set. I didn't have anything for this game. So when this came out, this was my jumping point. I'm like, okay, this is how I'm going to get into it. It has the rule book, core rules, a quick start. It's got decks. It's got little measuring things, dice, tokens. It's got the little adventure card decks that you use for the game. And I believe it came with, 8 metal miniatures. So 4 miniatures per side.
And that was huge, I thought, for Pulp Alley, because when I first got into Pulp Alley, they didn't have that. And you had to go and, I was going through the website. I'm like, what adventure cards do I need? What are these horror cards? Do I need those? You know what I mean? So I really like that they did that. And Matt makes a good point here too. And we were just joking about that. The cost in the indie world for 2 rule books in there, that would be rough. That would be, no doubt. Yeah. And Tim says the BattleTech starter box isn't advertised as 2-player, but it is, which is true. So there's Pulp Alley, David Phipps. That is such a great game.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's an adventure, right?
It is. I love that game. Pulp Alley's actually the game that introduced me to the pulp style of miniatures. I say cool. Introduced. I mean, I knew about them, but I didn't really have any. And I always really enjoyed painting them. We've talked before about models that are just really full of character. You have the stuff from Twilight, you have the stuff from Burrows and Badgers, just those things that are so far off of the normal spectrum. When you sit down and paint them, you're just like, wow, that was really different. That was cool. So
Ron actually corrected me here. He said Pulp City. I saw
Pulp City. Okay, well, Pulp City's good too.
That's a good suggestion. So I'll pop that up for Ron there.
There you go, Pulp City. Pulp City's good. We actually have an interview with Pulp City on YouTube. Got to go back a ways. Yeah. Not all this high quality technical stuff like the black
the old days
hanging on the wall, So one for me is, and this is kind of going back for me because I haven't played this in a while, is Deep Wars and Shadow Sea. So Antimatter Games is actually running a Kickstarter right now where you can pick up another 2-player starter. So this will actually be the third 2-player starter. And speaking to what Tonio said about choosing your faction based on that, because it's in a Kickstarter, you have the option of which 2 factions you want in the box, which is kind of nice. And it includes the tokens, the movement sticks that you need because it's Song of Blades and Heroes rules. So you have movement sticks. It's got, I don't think I said the rule book, but the rule book, it's got the 2 factions of miniatures, which is between 4 and 5 each, depending on the size of the model. So that's a pretty good starter set too.
I'm going to show the 2 old ones that show that they're sold out. I guess he just sold out of them. Got the new one coming though. So
well, the new one's coming. So I don't know. I'm not sure really what's going on overall. So the models for Deep Wars and Shadow Sea are available at Dark Sword Miniatures, if you like those, as well as the STL files, because they're moving a lot to print. I guess you would call it print on demand for yourself.
Yeah.
Which I'm not really a very big fan of that. I kind of want to buy my miniatures and have them show up in the mail. I mean, I like printing stuff, but I don't want my game to be fully, I got to print it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to open a box, slap them together with glue yourself to them.
Yeah.
Throw them on the table.
Not rinse the resin off and then have your paint fall off. Yeah. All that
color dip. Boop, boop,
yeah.
Boop. Okay,
let's go. That good stuff. So that's one that I think is a really good deal. And like I said, there's a Kickstarter going right now. It's already funded. It's got like 18 days left. And, the sculpt quality of the miniatures, and I believe I've said this before, is I kind of have a litmus test of what I think are good sculpts, just purely my opinion, and that's the Deep Wars models, Twisted models, and the Drowned Earth. At least 2 of those companies have used the same sculptor before, so there's that. All right, what do you got next there?
Okay. Next, I'm fiddling with my phone here.
I see you fiddling.
Next, I have. Are you ready, Matt? Are you ready? This is my new addiction. Thanks to I blame Alan on this one.
Oh, of course, we can blame Alan. He's not here.
Is Don't Look Back. Man, I'm getting quite of a glare.
Yeah, you
Starter
are.
set.
You should have opened that thing
By Matt Burns, who is in here.
That's right.
So
hi, Matt.
No, I got to keep it nice and pristine.
No, you got to open that thing. What's wrong with you?
It's open. Oh. That's the collector in me. But yeah, that's kind of my new hotness is the 2-player starter. And I like this one because you really don't need anything else. This box is all you need. They have enough in there that you can kind of create your own maniacs and killers and stuff like that and just play. Now anything else you would get from their website would be just like, additional ways to play, or just, something maybe a little bit different, but you could just play this box over and over and over and over again and see if you survive.
Yeah. No, you don't.
Usually
you don't.
Usually it's pretty brutal.
No, you don't. That's okay. And you are very welcome, Ron. I'm happy to suck you into that. Always fun to be together in those things.
Yeah, this is one of those episodes, I think, tonight. Sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah. We apologize in advance. So James says he really wants Don't Look Back. Looks like a lot of fun. Listen, man, it is worth the investment. I feel like
there you go.
I feel like one of the things about Don't Look Back is that it's kind of a gateway game for people that don't typically play skirmish.
Yeah, because it's not
like Zombicide.
It's not a typical skirmish game. I mean, there's only one bad guy, and then it's kind of co-op in a way.
Right.
You're just trying to achieve some kind of scenario goal.
Right. Yeah, I think that it's look, I'm going to do the Eric now while I'm on my computer. I think it's really a good gateway kind of game. I really do. It's super easy to play. It's just listen. The reality is, go check it out. Go pick up a box because it's worth the investment. It's most definitely
Studios. Go to Black Site Studios.
It's definitely worth it. Well, since you're doing all of that here, I'm gonna share a screen.
Bloop. Okay, your turn.
All right, my turn. So here you can check out the Chrome tab. You don't have to check out the Chrome tab. There we go. So
okay, it's the new one.
Yeah, that's the new Kickstarter, the Dark Star Rift, and you can see the types of models. They're just super cool. I mean, there's just all kinds of cool stuff. Super cool stuff. I love everything about Deep Wars. It's just so cool. Anyway, so there, I had to play catch up. Stop screen. Okay. Oh, Matt said he was shooting for that too. Tim says been meaning to look at Little Wars Tinderbox. Tombstone Tinderbox. I haven't looked at that. I'll have to go look at that. What Spaz say? It's not bad enough we introduce these cool indie games. Now you have to show us Kickstarters. Yeah. Look, if we have to go in
and back showing those.
If we have to go in and back it, it's only fair that we share that love with you wonderful people. Matt said, I love fish monsters. Well, let me tell you, that game has more fish monsters than you can shake a stick at. Yes, for real. All right, what do you got next? Or is it my turn again?
It is your turn. You're up.
It's my turn again. Okay, so the other one that I have is actually new. And I heard about this while Alan, free plug for Discover Games there, is Bushido. So he talked to the guys at Bushido while he was at Adepticon, and they have just recently, I think they've released it, a new 2-player starter, which includes 2 factions, rulebook, all that kind of cool stuff, but still encounters the same problem that Tonio was talking about, where these are the 2 factions that you get. I don't know if they give you the option to choose. I would have to check that out. I always have the hardest time finding their website, and I don't know why. It's GCT Studios. You got it?
I have a tab for that.
Oh, look at that. You are tab man. Tab man. Yeah, so Bushido also has a 2-player starter. And, man, okay, if you guys haven't played Bushido, you have to at least check it out. The models are gorgeous. And you can see right there. So the page Eric has up here, that's the faction choices.
That's a lot of factions. I'm like, okay, where do I go for a starter?
Yeah, you got a lot of factions. It plays really fast. It plays with just a few models on the table, and it plays on a 2x2 board. It's a super fun game. I've only had the luxury of playing it a couple of times, but I love it. I think it's a really top shelf game overall. Okay, so Tonio's got some insight on that. New Bushido starter are Ronins, which is the equivalent of mercenaries, so they can play with a bunch of other factions. Oh, that's actually a really, really good.
That's a good way.
That's a really good way to approach that. Matt said he got some minis for it at Adepticon. Aren't they great? They're fantastic minis. There's a couple of I have a couple of models that have a couple of fiddly parts on them. But overall, they're fantastic. Like, if you don't want fiddly parts, you just get the demon faction, because they're all these big chunky Oni demons, and so that you could throw at someone and kill them with it. They're big chunks of metal. The fun stuff. So Bushido, go check them out too. I'm just apologizing that we're making you guys spend so much money today.
Yeah, it's one of those nights.
It is one of those nights. Look, I already spent my money. I had to go get Country Road Z. So
that's because you're Mr. Hard Copy.
I got it. I got to have the book. I started reading it. I was like, ooh, this is kind of cool. I'm going to stop reading the PDF and wait for my book. So, all right, what you got next?
My next one, Matt, you'll like this one. Get ready. Moonstone.
I still haven't gotten any, man.
I like this one. These miniatures it kind of reminds me of like your Disney cartoon movie, but they get to fight.
Yeah.
Because the minis are very detailed, almost caricature type versions of these, like goblins or gnomes or humans, and they have plenty that you can pick from. And these starters are great to get in. You get both sides gets 4 minis, you get all the dice you need and all that stuff. You just jump in and play. And these miniatures were easy resin to build miniatures that you can get going right away.
I'm ashamed that I don't have any Moonstone yet.
Yeah, I know. I bought this.
You got the Christmas sale.
Yeah, I got a Christmas sale.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. If you guys want to jump in, they're always having some kind of bundle deal.
Yeah.
Where you can get something like this, or they have something new come out, like a special limited time. Like just recently, they had the special.
I don't remember. Oh yeah, it was an Easter sale. That's right.
Easter sale, and they had like the limited Jackalope and some other stuff, some new like campaign type books. It seems like they do a lot of those type of stuff.
Yep. Tonio has a good one here too. He says, not indie, but Star Wars Legion and Crisis Protocol are great starter sets. I don't know about Star Wars Legion, but I do know, because my oldest son has it, is the Crisis Protocol box. That's a smoking deal. I mean, that's a really good deal for getting into that game, and a good game too. It's always hard. It's so hard to do superhero stuff. So you always feel like, I always feel like, oh, you're going to disappoint me with this hero. I just know you are. But that's a really good starter. Dead Zone is a good. Oh, hey, look, there's Bob. Dead Zone is a good starter. Okay, another good starter set. So my last one is, I did this just for Eric.
For me,
just for Eric.
What's your last one? Oh, I know what your last one is.
The Wild West Exodus 2-player starter. Now, it suffers again. The point Tonio made earlier, it suffers from that same thing where you get what you get faction wise. That's what you're going to get. But it does come with everything you need. It's got the 2 decks of cards for your players. It's got oodles of models. And again, the only thing which we jokingly said is it doesn't have 2 rule books in it.
Yeah.
But it's a really good one too. And even though, as everyone probably knows, and I'm going to say it again, I don't like the 2nd edition rules, I still love the models. They just have great models. They fit so well. Like, they slide into Twisted really easy because they're the same time frame and they're steampunk in a different part of the world. So the models just slide right into Twisted really easily. So you missed 2 bell ringing.
I missed 2.
2. I said
For
Twisted.
Yeah, I was busy looking at Wild West Exodus.
So anyway, that's another really good starter set with super cool models. So Wild West Exodus. Check it out, and then come here and play 1st edition with me.
Okay,
I got all my cards.
I have a couple more because I brainstormed some more. So my next one, I'm looking to see if I have a tab for it. I don't think I do. Anyway, it is by the guys that make Black Sun. There's one called Flint and Feather by Crucible Crush that you guys can check out. And that one is kind of geared towards your very traditional. It's not like Black Sun where it's a weird type world, but it's your American natives, battling for territory. If you guys are interested in that kind of genre, because it's not gunpowder, it's bows and arrows and hatchets and just you're going at it. So that's one that you can check out. Another one that you can check out is by Warlord. And this one's called, and I look at this every time I go to a convention. I actually looked at it like 3 out of the 4 days at Adepticon and I didn't pull the trigger. Mythic Americans. And they have.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
They have actually 2 starters. They have like your kind of your basic getting started. That let's see, it has the Aztec and tribal nations in it, but then they have a collector version of a starter set, and these look really cool to me. I mean, it's kind of got that, that it looks like it's got a little bit of like a fantasy element in it, because I think there's like Bigfoot or Wendigos or something like that that you can add in here. The downside, now we mentioned earlier about sometimes these starter sets can be pricey. This is a pricey one. That's what holds me back on it, because it's like I think it's over $100 for.
Yeah, it seems like that's kind of the way it's all going. And on a totally different note in regards to that, because that does have something to do with 2-player starters, obviously, is the cost, because it takes a lot to put everything in that box. You know what I mean?
I mean, this is their small one. It's $142.
But I wonder, I'm curious how and if KieLoKaz will affect some of these prices.
It could. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of the process and the cost difference. So I'd be interested to see that, because I really think that even when you get to some of the expensive 2-player starter boxes, I still think you're getting really good bang for your buck 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Whether it's the big guys like GW or Warlord, or whether it's the little guys like Black Site Studios, and who, I don't know what all you get in there either. It looks like you get some really large models too.
Yeah, this is the big one. This is the collector one. That's way up there. I think you get everything in this. I don't think there's anything you would need.
Is this 320?
Yes. This collector.
Well, I mean, I suppose if you're a collector.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just even this one, it's a bit much. I mean, I think some of these models are resin, some are metal. Yeah. So you think of that, what you're paying for.
And the truth is if it's what you like, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, is that something you're going to be invested in?
Right.
You enjoy that.
If you're going to play it, that's not expensive. If you're going to collect and maybe play it 2 or 3 times, that's super expensive. So,
yep.
And Tim said all the expansions for Mythic Americas are expensive. Okay, well, that's probably. Matt says KieLoKaz is going to be a double-edged sword, at least initially. We should have a talk about that, because I might be privy to some KieLoKaz information, which is kind of fun, and I'm excited. I have one KieLoKaz model, and I'm very happy with it. And it's not the new stuff that they introduced at Adepticon. So.
Okay, now to close us out, I got some maybes. I want to get your take on these maybes, because they're kind of that borderline board game, miniature game. So we did mention we were talking Relic Blade, and we didn't think they had one. Let me find it. So they do have this. That's like kind of a get starter. It's a 2-player battle set. Now it's this by Metal King Studios, Sean Sutter. It's kind of a learn to play, stripped down rules. It's not the full rules that are in here. So does this qualify as a starter set? It does come with everything you need to get going and introduce you to the world, right? Yeah. It's just, if you want more, then you're gonna have to go get the full rule book for campaign and stuff like that, and more miniatures, because this kind of gives you a sprinkling of all the different factions just to get a feel of what they're about. So I mean, it is kind of, I consider this kind of a starter set.
I consider it a starter set. I mean,
but then other ones would be like the new Blood and Plunder. I don't know if I want to call it a starter set, because it's more like a board game, right? It's in a box board game, and
I don't know.
You get a ship, you get miniatures, and then here's some missions, run through it. Now, what I look at that one as kind of a starter is that stuff, you can take everything in that box and add it to your regular stuff, to build out whatever your forces are. So it's kind of a starter.
For the next one, it's the same thing. The Chronicles of Elia. Once that delivers, soon, please. I hope. I want my hippo model. But when that delivers, that's the same thing. Everything in that game ports into the Drowned Earth, but it's more board game-esque, and it has missions that you're running. And that, it's got cards that are dictating what the AI is doing. So that one's a little bit different, but I think it's still a really good gateway into the game, which is kind of the purpose of it. I like the Drowned Earth too much. I'm going to play Chronicles of Elia, but I really didn't back it for that. I backed it for all the miniatures to port into the Drowned Earth. It's just the truth, man. It's just the truth. I don't know what to say about that. So it is what it is.
Yep. But that's about it. That's all I got.
That's all I got. That's a lot. I will say this in the final analysis of the whole thing is, for me, I don't need a 2-player starter when I go to a game. Is it nice? I guess so, but I don't need it because once
depends
again,
what kind of gamer you are, right?
Right. I'll go back to what Tonio said again. Is I don't want to be restricted to what you're putting in the box as the developer. I realize as the developer, you're putting the most cost-effective way into the box, obviously, but I don't need a 2-player starter, so I'm okay.
Because you're gonna buy everything anyway.
You didn't have to throw me under the bus so quickly, man. You didn't have to do it so quickly. But
they all know. They all know.
But yeah, because I'm gonna get what I want to get what I want. I'm gonna get what I like the most. So I'll have you know, I don't. Oh, never mind. I was going to say I don't have any Enlightened for Wild West Exodus, but that's not true.
That's not true. You didn't give me everything.
I did not give you everything. Ron says he used to buy the boxes so the friends would play. I see the point of that, and that's a very good thing. Yeah. It's splitting the cost of it.
Yep.
There's awesome. I think there's awesome stuff.
Let's try this out. It's a low cost investment of trying it out to see if you even like it.
Yep.
Instead of having to buy, I need all these miniatures just to build this, and then I got to buy that to play it. And
So I think there's a lot of value in them, but that's my 2 cents. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yep.
That's right.
All right. Well, it's your turn, sir. It's
my turn. All right. So, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate you tuning in with us and engaging us in conversations. We always have a good time. So if you want to check out any of our other content, you can head on over to Podbean, Google Podcast, all those other places. You can check it out. Make sure you subscribe wherever you go because, why not? You can also check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. When you go over to YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Like button.
Smash it.
And subscribe. Smash it. Also, the Discord channel. Lots of cool stuff going on over there. Just the past few days, there's been some cool pics going up of people playing some games and working on some stuff. I actually played a game of 2nd edition X-Wing tonight with my son right before we did this. So that was pretty fun. So check us out on the Discord. We also have a Patreon if you want to go over there and check that out. If you want to go over there and check that out, go check it out. But the real thing that we love so much is our Redbubble, because you can get your coffee cups and your hats and your shirts and your jackets and your this and your that. You can get it all. So we really like that. If you want to go over and check that out, you can get stickers and clocks and whatever other kind of indie invasion stuff you want to get. But as always, guys, thank you for joining us. Be on the lookout for Eric's unboxing video of what was it called again? The Cursed Crate.
Cursed Crate 2.
Cursed Crate 2. So be on the lookout for the unboxing of Cursed Crate 2. And until then, guys, prepare yourself for the invasion.
Bye, guys.